The sun poured into the break room windows of Wilton and Hayes, a mid-sized marketing agency tucked inside a nondescript building in downtown Dallas. It was just past 9 a.m. and coffee cups clinked against ceramic countertops while co-workers murmured half-hearted greetings to one another. For most people, mornings in this office meant slow starts and inbox purges, but not for Dana Preston. Dana had been with the firm for 8 years. At 39, she was the head of media strategy, known for her crisp pantsuits, razor-sharp presentations, and that calm, disarming smile she wore in meetings even when the data was spiraling into chaos. She had the kind of presence that pulled people into her orbit without trying. Her voice was firm but warm, and her laugh, when she let it loose, was low and intoxicating. Colleagues respected her. Bosses trusted her. And behind the curtain, one young man was utterly captivated by her. Tyler Reed had only been with the company 4 months. He was 25, fresh out of a digital marketing program and full of energy, jokes, and ambition. He had that smooth kind of charm that wasn't self-aware yet, the kind that hadn't yet turned into arrogance. He had a quick smile, hazel eyes that looked too sincere for an office setting, and a habit of leaning in just a little too close when he talked. It started innocently. It always does. Dana had first noticed Tyler during one of those Monday status meetings where most people scrolled their phones under the table or stared blankly at PowerPoint slides. Tyler, though, paid attention. His questions were sharp, insightful, and once, he challenged one of Dana's ideas, not rudely, just confidently. She had raised an eyebrow, smirked, and then asked him to stay behind after the meeting to talk. That conversation lasted 30 minutes. Then it became a coffee. Then it became lunch. Then, just 3 weeks after that first extended chat, Dana had found herself standing far too close to him in the storage room behind the third-floor printers. He was showing her something on his phone, an ad campaign he liked, and when she laughed, he looked up at her in that eager, unsure way boys sometimes do when they want you to tell them what they are. She didn't. She just kissed him. From that moment on, the lines blurred, and they blurred fast. The storage room became their sanctuary at first. Nobody ever questioned Dana's authority to roam the office as she pleased, and nobody noticed Tyler's disappearances, either. Sometimes it was mornings, sometimes right after lunch, and sometimes at the tail end of the workday when the office started to clear out. The risk, the thrill, was part of it. Dana had a husband, after all. Brad Preston, 42, regional sales manager for a tech firm. He traveled most weeks and was glued to his laptop when he wasn't. Their marriage had become one of those silent agreements, clean dinners, quiet evenings, occasional conversations that felt more like calendar sync-ups than intimacy. She told herself at first it was harmless. She wasn't looking for an affair. But Tyler had become a kind of drug, a rush of youth, of want, of being seen and desired. With him, she felt awake. Not just physically. It wasn't about the sex, not entirely. It was how he looked at her. How he asked about her ideas, her background, her frustrations. He made her feel like a woman again, not just a cog in someone's life. Soon, it stopped being confined to the office. It started with a hotel room, one of those airport Marriotts with beige curtains and awful lighting. Tyler booked it, used his own card. She didn't ask how he explained it to his credit card company or his bank statement. After that, it became weekly. Tuesday nights, mostly. Dana would tell Brad she had late calls with the West Coast team. He never questioned her. She'd slide out of her tailored jacket, unbutton her blouse, and for a few hours, she belonged only to herself. To desire. To freedom. But of course, secrets don't stay secrets forever. It was a Thursday morning in March when the first crack formed. Dana walked into the break room and found Tyler talking with Emily Jensen from HR. Emily had a nervous energy about her, always blinking too much and apologizing before she spoke. Tyler looked up, smiled that charming smile at Dana, and introduced her. Something about Emily's smile felt off. Too polite. Too tight. Later that afternoon, Dana found out why. The company had started implementing internal audit measures, including access to digital logs. Emily, as part of her duties, had to review building access history for a facilities report. She'd noticed a pattern: Tyler and Dana entering the supply closet within minutes of each other multiple times a week. At first, she ignored it. Then she mentioned it, off the record, to her supervisor. The supervisor happened to be jealous of Dana's position, and soon, whispers began. At first, nothing changed. Dana carried on like nothing was amiss. Tyler, though, started to panic. He was younger, less disciplined. He started texting her more often. "Should we stop? Are we being watched? Do you think anyone knows?" His tone shifted. He became clingier, needier. He wanted confirmation that she still wanted him, that this wasn't going to blow up their lives. She started to pull back, and he noticed. Then came the incident. An email, sent accidentally. Tyler had typed out a message to a friend, one of those late-night, whiskey-fueled rants where he vented about office drama and bragged about the older woman he was wrecking on the regular. The email wasn't supposed to go to HR. But it did. Autocomplete can be cruel. The fallout was quiet at first. HR called Dana in for a confidential discussion. No details. Just vague questions about workplace boundaries, professionalism, and supporting junior staff. She deflected. She denied. Tyler, meanwhile, was suspended pending review. That night, she sat on her back porch, glass of wine in hand, watching the wind whip through the oak trees in her backyard. Brad was inside, talking on Zoom. He hadn't looked her in the eye all week. When Tyler finally called her, it was from a different number. He was angry, hurt, mostly. "You just let them hang me out to dry," he said. "I didn't say your name," she snapped. "You did that all by yourself." He went quiet, then said something that stuck with her. "You didn't care about me. You just cared how I made you feel." She couldn't argue. A few weeks later, Tyler resigned. HR swept the issue under the rug, too risky to pursue anything publicly. Dana kept her job, though she was asked to take some personal time to reflect. She spent 3 weeks in New Mexico with her sister, hiking and sleeping early, trying to remember who she'd been before everything got tangled. When she came back to Dallas, things had changed. Coworkers no longer smiled the same way. The elevator rides felt longer. People stopped inviting her to lunch. Brad never confronted her. Not directly. But one night, over dinner, he asked, "Do you love me, Dana?" She put down her fork, looked at him, and said, "I don't know anymore." They slept in separate rooms after that. It took months for the ache to fade, for the guilt to stop curling in her chest like a slow burn. She missed Tyler sometimes. Not him exactly, but the way he made her feel. Alive. Desired. Unafraid. But in time, she stopped needing that. She started painting again, something she hadn't done since college. She got a dog. She found new friends outside of work, outside of Brad.